So welcome back to another Edgewonk review. And we have another journal that was sent in, and the Edgewonk user asked us to take a look at his data and make sense of his performance. And we are here again with Moritz,
Hi
my
guys.
co-founder with Edgewonk. Hello, Moritz.
Hello.
So we have this journal. He has a 40% win rate. The average P&L is roughly 1-to-1, so his average winning size is roughly the size of his average losing trades. 75 trades. It's a day trader. He's holding his trades on average 40 minutes, and he has around 1.4 trades per day, and 4 trades per week. So far, so good. Let's go to the equity graph to see where he is at the moment. Classic break-even graph. Some upswings, some downswings, and for the last 20 trades, roughly around the break-even.
This is the epitome of a break-even trader, like picture book perfect.
Yeah, we keep seeing those. And the good news is that, well, the interesting part is that when we now go into the performance, the break-even traders show pretty much all very similar behavioral patterns, and the data is often very similar from one break-even trader to the next. So we want to start here by looking at, let's take a look at his setups maybe first. Often we see that such traders have a lot of setups. We have seen journals with 10, 15 plus setups. In this case, only 2. But the difference here is really obvious, right? Setup 1, very, very well performing. Setup 2, very underperforming. The thing is, we talked about if we should avoid those setup 2 trades, but the sample size is 15 trades only, although he doesn't have a single win of them. So it might be a little bit early to say stop trading setup 2.
I would say just keep grinding it out for a little bit longer, maybe until 30 trades. And if it still doesn't work, then focus on what actually works and make your life easier.
Right. Another thing that we looked at for setup 2 trades, we can go to the exit analysis graph and then look at only setup 2. And there seems to be really no edge at all, interestingly. So what we see here is that those are setup 2 trades. The red part shows how much the trade is going against him. This is the horizontal stop loss area. The white marker is the exit, where he took the exit, and the green part is how much the trade is moving in his favor. And pretty much no, except for 3 trades here, but even those, they moved 40% towards his take profit, and then, yeah, pretty much just went straight to the target from the entry. That shows already that there's probably not a lot of edge, if any, in setup 2 trades. Very interesting.
Yeah.
Let's go to the trade comments. They're also very interesting. Trade entry comments. Executed as planned, 57 trades, 30 winners. So around a 50% win rate. We have some break-even trades here. The good news is always when you see that you have a losing trader or a break-even trader, and he has winning trades or he is making money, if he's following his plan, it shows that there is some edge at the system, and the system is not completely broken. If you have a comment in your journal and it says executed as planned or followed your rules, and you don't make money, then that's a big issue. But this should give the trader some confidence that when he's following his rules, he is making money.
And also interestingly here, the win rate is 50%, but he's making money, so his average risk reward must actually be bigger than 1-to-1. No?
Yeah, good point.
So yeah, we see that a lot with a lot of people that send our journals, and their risk reward is roughly 1-to-1 or worse. And most of them are break even or losing traders. We have yet to see a guy who is making money with a 1-to-1 or worse. And I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just saying it's really hard. So yeah, focusing on increasing your risk reward always pays off.
Yeah, good point. When you want to make a system profitable, you have 2 options, as we keep saying, either get the win rate up or the average reward to risk ratio. Getting the win rate up is possible when you have a lot of trades where you break your rules. Obviously, those usually lead to losses. It's a way of getting your win rate up. But if you're not breaking your rules as often, getting the win rate up is much harder than just trying to get your winners up.
Yes.
And increasing the size of your winners is often very straightforward, because what we see with losing and break-even traders is in the trade management graph, it's always the same. Is that the potential performance is in 90%, 95% of the cases above the actual performance, which means the trader is cutting his winners. Potentially, he could have made way more money if he would have just let his trades play out. But such traders are cutting their winners and leave a lot of money on the table. So their winning trades could be much, much larger, which would then boost the average reward to risk ratio. And then they don't even need to stress and worry about their win rate. This would take care of the issue completely by itself.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this is the big finding here for this trader. Obviously, he has FOMO trades and trades where he traded poorly or chose the wrong location. Those should be eliminated, or at least he needs to reduce those. But this will have a much bigger impact on the performance of the trader when it comes to looking for ways to become profitable.
Yeah, I remember the OTP stats, original take profit hit, yes or no, was one of the first stats we introduced into Edgewonk version 1 back then, when it was still an Excel file. And to this day, it is still the most interesting and most important stat in our journal, and very, very often for many traders. It's super interesting.
Yeah, true. When you go, or when you open, or when I open a journal, and I see a trader is struggling a little bit, maybe break even, slightly losing, that's the first thing I go to. And it's almost always, here's where the trader is missing out, and it's usually why he's not profitable.
Yeah.
So it's so important to get the OTP in, activate that in your Edgewonk journal. It's so easy. You open your trades, you go to advanced data, and then it's here OTP, yes or no. I made 2 or 3 videos on YouTube with articles on it. This will then unlock your trade management graph, and you will get so much out of it. We keep seeing this week after week. So one of the most important stats in your job. Custom stats, he has a lot, but one stands out here. It's the trend. The other ones are very strategy specific, so we cannot say too much about them, but here's a very clear picture. He's trading with the trend, he's making money. He's going against the trend, he's not making money. In a neutral market, he's not making money. Of course, 5 and 7 trades, it's not the best and the biggest sample size, but yeah, there seems to be a picture. Again, keep trading like that. That's what we would recommend until you have a larger sample size after 30, 40 trades. With those tags, this should become clearer. And if after 30 trades it's still underperforming that much, probably drop it or look into those trades closer and see why they fail. And if there's still an edge, maybe with the trade management, what you can do is then, of course, advanced filters, trend, counter trend, and then you can look into the trade management. But even here, the actual performance is actually better than the potential performance. So he's not mismanaging those, and there, even if he would not have been able to make more money by managing the trades differently the way it looks right now. So doesn't look too good for this custom statistic.
Yeah, one thing I really like about this trader's journal is how he uses the custom stats to actually input variables relating to his actual strategy. Not every trader we review does that, but that's actually what custom stats are most useful for. Besides obviously tracking with the trend, against the trend, market condition, which is all super important, or whether you did your pre-market prep, all that stuff, but strategy specific things should go into the custom stats and then see how that affects your performance. So he's doing that really well.
Yeah. Yeah, especially if you use different tools like levels, zones. They fit very nicely into the custom stats. We also have now the checklists, which this trader hasn't used yet. Here you would look for overall, like if you've been paying attention to a specific criteria. If you then want to go deeper, that's where the custom stats come in.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's basically it for this journal. Again, it's super clear where the edge is and what the trader should work on. Trying to just be more confident in his trades, trust your initial trading plan. That seems to be what he should be doing based on the data that we have here. Let the trades play out. And we just had a transformation call, and you said something really interesting with the last trader. You remember what you said about the next 20 trades?
Yeah, so basically whenever you feel resistance versus making an adjustment to your strategy, for example, you have problems letting your trades run to their take profits, or you cut your winners too early, then simply think of it as, okay, I have to do this, or I'm going to do this for the next 20 trades, and no but, no if, I'm just going to do it. And if after 20 trades I still feel this is the wrong approach, or then I can always go back to my old ways. But usually after 20 trades of following that one approach, that change to your approach, what happens is that it becomes a habit and it becomes automated, and you don't feel uncomfortable anymore. And you will see the results black on white too. So it's the simple atomic habits concept, right? James Clear. So it works really well.
Yeah, and 20 trades is a commitment that is it's not overwhelming. It's doable just for the next 2 to 3 weeks. It's a commitment that it's actually achievable. Because yeah, committing to changing the system as a whole is often scary, and changing your trading habits is not as simple as just telling you to do that, but committing for 2 to 3 weeks is actually doable.
Yeah, and I actually got that from, I think it was a layman's book for stock trading or so, like an old school stock trading book. And the guy said, he laid out this approach, and then he said, if you can't follow your system for 20 trades, then simply consider giving up trading. And that really hit me so hard that I said, okay, 20 trades, I can do it.
Yeah, and the data will show you if you're moving into the right direction.
Yes.
Yeah, perfect. I think interesting journal, very well maintained, good custom stats. He has a lot of notes in his trades as well, screenshots, all of the good stuff. He has a lot of notes, which we also have taken a look at, but for the review, they're not as relevant. It just shows that the trader is having a very solid routine the way it looks like. He's on the right track, and I hope with this review, we helped him get some new ideas about his trading behavior and how to move forward.
Awesome.
Thank you, Miles, for being here. And if you want us to review your journal, click on this link here at the top. If it appears in your journal qualifies for a review. We will take a look at your data and then make a video about your journal as well.